Well, listen, I really fucked up, and I made this bold statement that the Lions signed Zadarius Smith
Yeah.
last week, and so far that's really backfired on me.
Yeah.
And I'm really starting to think that's not going to happen. Like, what the hell is going on?
Well, they got their 53-man roster all locked up. They signed this guy from the Raiders, this safety from the Raiders. His name's, what was his name? I forgot his name. I got to look it up. But it seems like that's the way they're going to play it for right now. Thomas Harper from the Raiders. I had to look it up real quick. You have to forgive me. But yeah, that seems to be they're rolling out the 53-man roster right now, and he's in there. And apparently, I've been seeing some rumors and some stuff that the Zadarius Smith to Detroit is pretty much dead on arrival, which is unfortunate. But I guess
Really?
that's just the way it is for right now.
Where is there any rumor of where he's going?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything yet. It's still up in the air. There was a bunch of stuff with his girlfriend. What the hell was her name? I can't remember anybody's name anymore, I swear. Yeah, the girl, she was wearing his jersey at like a public event, at like a concert or something, and people were like, wonder what's happening, but I can't really judge. I can't really, consider that like really a true NFL rumor or a true NFL confirmation of anything based on a female rapper's, relationship with her boyfriend or ex or the situationship they got going on. I don't know, but looks like Zadarius ain't coming back, and we're rolling with Marcus Davenport for now.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
You know what I was just thinking? Completely off topic, but not. What if that is way they announced how players signed in markets? Rapper, female rapper, would have to wear their jersey in public, and that's the only way you know. No press announcements, no nothing. And that's how you spotted it.
That would be interesting. That would be like something, I think that's very 2025. That's very current year, because you know how big female rappers are. You get the Cardi B's and Nicki Minaj's and all them, and they can
all
be wearing
legends.
Those guys, they're dating like NFL players and shit or whatever, and that could be interesting. Maybe one of the Kardashians could wear like a Lakers jersey or something, but I get what you're saying. I don't pay attention to female rappers really, so that's a new one on me.
Neither do I, so that's what makes that joke hard to really keep going on.
Yeah.
I only know
I got no material for you.
Just named them.
Yeah, I didn't write a tight
It's a funny concept.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny, just like based on like what the women in their lives are like wearing, like all these rumors and stuff like that. I remember when Matt Stafford was here, Kelly Stafford was always running her mouth, and it'd be kind of funny, just like the players' wives or girlfriends, just like breaking news about their contract status or their free agent status or something. That'd be kind of interesting, kind of entertaining. Kind of annoying too, though.
I was gonna say, if you say that 3 times, Kelly Stafford's gonna have a podcast now where that's what she does, is break free agency news just for the Rams.
That sounds like something. Is that actually happening? That sounds like that sounds like a joke, but I don't think so. Don't put that out in the air, man.
I'm really scared to look it up because it might actually be true. Actually, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
You want to talk about Matrix level stuff, so I'll send you the picture. So Tom and I have a common friend from high school, and I'm going to send him this picture of this person, and he is going to think it's that person, but I assure you it's not Tom. And I want you to I'm not saying the name because I want you to say who you think it is. And it freaks me out because it's not who you'll think it is, but sure as fuck looks like it. It's confusing right now, ladies and gentlemen. But wait till Tom gets this picture.
Somebody who I went to high school with.
It's someone someone all we hung out with.
Okay.
And you're going to instantly say, oh, that's so-and-so, but it's not. That's the weird thing.
That looks like... I don't usually do this. What's his name? What the hell is his name? Brian Bowles, maybe?
Exactly, yes.
That looks like him, yeah.
I know, but it's not. And I sent it to him. He didn't respond. And a few of our other friends, like Dolan, and I said, hey, tell me we don't live in a matrix when I send you a picture So anyways, what we're saying right now probably is in a parallel universe already happening. And if we go to YouTube, it already has more views than ours. But I do want to highlight, man, thank you so much. Your content that you've been putting out has blown our channel up 300%. I mean, I've sent you the analytics. It's out of this world.
Yeah,
but
baby.
You have been churning out the latest and greatest, and it's been awesome. So thank you. I appreciate
no problem.
It.
I'm happy to help. It's a fun hobby. I love talking about this kind of stuff. Anything beats like talking about like politics or culture war shit. I mean, that stuff is entertaining and fun to a certain degree, but after a while it gets kind of depressing. But sports stuff is always fun. You can talk some shit, you can mess around, it's like a bonding experience. Like you can meet other like-minded like Lions and like Red Wings fans and stuff. I've had some good conversations in the comments. It's an active place. Our comment section has been buzzing. It's good to meet people. It's good to talk to people, kind of get the brand going and stuff like that. The fan forum brand, it's going up, man. It's going up. We're getting more and more attention, and it's good. I'm glad to be a part of it too. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, but I'm having a great time, man. This is fun. I like getting up in the morning if I got nothing going on, record a few videos before work, or if I got a day off. I had today off, so excuse me, but
that was so perfectly timed.
It was my burps just know exactly when to come out, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's great reconnecting with you guys, great reconnecting with the audience and everything like that. So I'm enjoying myself. Hopefully all of you out in the audience are enjoying it as well. Definitely try to put a good show on for you guys. So yeah.
Well, you've brought in the Red Wings fans. I'll specifically isolate them because Hitch and I, again, we talk kind of everything, but we haven't done specific videos. And man, you've brought in these Red Wings fans that got me going, dude, this is Hockey Town. Of course there's Red Wings fans. Of course we should be talking about this stuff. So once the season actually starts up, I know Hitch is not next level, but he's higher up in the hockey scale than I am. And Bob Lesage is a hockey guy. And I'm really excited outside of just what all of us are doing with the Lions to see what I think you can lead with the Red Wings stuff, because the Lions stuff has been so fun. And guys, we're going to be going live before every game, an hour before the game, on YouTube, on Twitch. There's going to be multiple platforms, however you want to watch us. But at the end of the day, dude, we're all going to go on live. I hope it's me, you. I hope the Podfather falls down from the heavens or up from Nicole Kidman's floorboards, wherever he's at. And joins us. But dude, this is going to be a really fun season.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the Red Wings training camp, I believe, starts September 18th, so that's coming up very soon. We're going to see some of these guys in action. See hopefully Axel Sandin Pelican, Nate Danielson, see more of Marco Kasper and Simon Edvidson. I'll see what those guys can bring to the table. But, we're going to see some James Van Riemsdyk, see how he slots it into the top six. We're going to see some interesting line combinations. We're going to see how this team gels together, hopefully. But, that season is starting October. Hard to believe, about a month away. But, yeah, it's going to be hockey time in the D very soon. People get so animated. When I was doing sports content back during the pandemic, people went apeshit for the Wings, man. It's a big, big hockey market still. I know the Wings haven't been doing much of anything for the last decade, but people are still plugged in, man. And people are really excited about the Red Wings. Could they make the playoffs this year? I think they're definitely, I don't want to guarantee anything, because that's always come back to bite me in the ass whenever I say, oh, they're definitely going to do this. They're definitely going to do that. I always end up looking like an asshole. But in this instance, I think the Wings could definitely cling on to a playoff spot. I think their division is a little too deep, and you're going to have issues. I was talking about in my last video that will be uploaded sometime soon, but I was talking about Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens, and how the Red Wings are still kind of vying for a spot with those guys. They're going to be playing for a wild card spot with those teams, because obviously, the Florida Panthers or the Tampa Bay Lightning or the Toronto Maple Leafs are still probably going to be the top three in the division for the foreseeable future. But yeah, but the Wings will be definitely fighting for something. They could make some noise in the East. I'm not going to say they could be like a top 10 team, but they could be on the periphery. They could be a team, maybe probably going to be more middle of the road this year. Probably going to be, if they can be like above 500 and play some competitive hockey and get better at 5-on-5 and, get the fundamentals, and we get some decent performances from these guys and some of the line matchups start working, we could do some damage this year, and the ceiling could be pretty high. I'm not counting on too much though. One full year, I think McClellan might be the X factor. I think one full year of McClellan, how this roster responds to him, how it gels, and how it basically takes from his expertise, his tutelage, if you will, that could be the deciding factor. But I'm excited to see what this Wings team, this latest iteration of the Wings team, could do. One more year of Patrick Kane. We got the Olympics this year. A few guys are going to be on Team America. Patrick Kane's looking to get that gold.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's going to be...
So is this the year where we draw the line in the sand, like similar to the Lions, right? Okay, you had a legacy in a long time of losing. And then we had to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, guys, if you're either on board right now, right, for the next foreseeable future, or stay the fuck out of the way, because once they hit good, I don't want to hear you're joining the bandwagon. So is this the year right now, or you kind of either have to jump on or jump off?
I've been on the bandwagon. I've been on the bandwagon since I was 9 years old. I remember watching this team. And
I know.
But
look at me, dude. I've fallen off. I'm not going to lie. It's not that I don't like the Red Wings. It's just that I think that Detroit hockey's been very boring to watch, and there's no reason for me to really get back into it. And I watch football like a sadistic weirdo, like you watch hockey, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, the Lions were 0-16, and you got cycles like Hitch and I going over the game plan before and after, and thinking about trying to get that first win, right?
I
get it.
I'm just
every
saying,
game that is this the season for me to get back on and say, okay, Mark, you were a real big hockey fan back in the day, and you fell off. I just don't have the mental capacity for all four sports right now.
Yeah, I understand.
And my son plays basketball, so the mental capacity goes back in with the Pistons, and I'm looking forward to doing some Pistons talk.
Yeah.
Is this the year for me in the Red Wings, or can I wait another year?
The thing is, this year, I can't. Probably not. If I had to be brutally honest, I believe in being brutally honest. I don't want to be a homeboy. I don't want to be a slapdick or nothing like that.
Be honest, man.
I want to be honest with you guys. This year, they're probably going to be better than last year. They're probably going to be between last year and 2024. With 2024, they missed it with a tiebreaker. It was like the skin of their teeth. They missed the playoffs. This upcoming year, I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but I don't think they're going to be quite as dynamic as that team year before. It's kind of sad we're looking at a team that missed the playoffs as the Wings high watermark, but so far, that's what it's been. But I'm excited to see what these young guys can do. If you're into the Wings have a good farm system. But yeah, that's where the development is. I'm excited to see what the young guys can do. I'm an Yzerman slab. I'm sorry, the guy was my childhood hero, and there's no way the Wings are going to be getting rid of him anytime soon. So I'm just kind of resigned to it. But if this year they'll probably be playing some decent hockey, they'll probably be a little exciting. I do think they could sneak into a wild card spot. They got potential this year, but the thing people don't realize, I did a few videos about this before, which you can watch on Detroit Fan Forum. Sign up now, but they're going to have $44 million in cap space after this year with all the expiring contracts and free agency stuff. They're going to be able to make some huge, huge moves and really rebuild it and fill out that top six like it hasn't been filled out before, and get some top pairing defensemen like they haven't been able to before, not relying on some 35-year-old veteran they got for the minimum to fill out some roster spots. No, I mean, you're not. I'm hoping and praying to God Yzerman doesn't do something goofy with all this money, but they got a lot of opportunity.
Well, man, I was just going to say,
the NHL.
Do you trust Yzerman to do the right thing with the money and bring the right guys in? Because we've watched teams like the Tigers and the Lions, and honestly the Pistons, clear up a bunch of cap space, right? And I've been a part of those little times where it's like, okay, they're going to spend this money and they're going to be that big reload perennial team. And then and I'm not mad about the Pistons, but they haven't spent any fucking money, right?
No,
they really
haven't.
And I'm okay with it, because in the NBA, there hasn't been a lot of money worth to spend, right?
No,
they're doing the Brad Holmes 1 year contract proven years, right? But
it's been a pretty.
But do you trust him? Do you trust Yzerman?
I do. I'm sorry, but I do.
That's fine. It's your answer. You're
Yeah,
allowed to say I trust him.
I don't have to explain myself to anybody. Excuse me, sir. But no, I do trust Yzerman to be able to build up this team. Now that he's got a lot more flexibility, he has a very patient approach. I'm not an Yzerman slap, like totally, like he can't do anything wrong. I've criticized him plenty. Some of his moves, obviously like Ben Sherratt and Justin Hull, some of these free agency deals, the JT Compher and Andrew Kopp just have not really worked out. I mean, Compher's had, he had a really good year in the first year. Second year, he fell off significantly. But the deals they sign him to, it's not like he's signing these guys to max deals, like some huge AAV
and that's
deal
the thing.
That's going to be a massive cap hit. I mean, you got some guys that stink, but they're going to be gone. The next couple of years, the Comphers, the Kopps, the Justin Hulls, the Sherratts, they're going to be gone. And hopefully, we're going to have more guys like Edvinson, more guys like Axel Sandin Pelika, more guys like Nate Danielson. We'll get a look at Carter Bear soon. Some of the guys, the Carter Mazurs, he's probably going to be like a bottom 6 anchor or something like that. You never know how he's going to work out, but we'll have younger guys up filling these spots, and we'll be able to get some top free agents, hopefully. I'm not sure whose contracts are expiring. I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know who the potential targets could be. They could still make some moves. They could still go out and get Mason McTavish. They could still get Kyle Connor from the Jets. And they could still get what's his nuts from the Penguins, that old ass defenseman. I forgot his name, but you know how I'm talking about. If you're a Wings fan, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they could still make some moves before the season starts, before training camp starts. I'm not counting on it because Yzerman's MO is not really these big splashy moves, but anything could happen still. And we know how Yzerman he takes a slow and patient approach. And like I said before, I'll reiterate it. I know I said it to you. I'm sure you and Hitch have heard it a million times, but I just think Yzerman came in here and Chris Ilitch and him had a conversation. He's just like, give me a decade, I'll give you a cup. And we're like in year 7. I still think there's going to be a few more years. Yzerman's going to be here. He still has a job to do. I think he feels like he has unfinished business. But I'm more bearish. I'll just say I'm more bearish on Yzerman than most. Probably because, Okay. Hold on a second.
I like your bold statement, dude.
Yeah.
I really do. You're getting me like into that mood where I'm going, oh, dude, Tom is literally lining up Yzerman to pull a Brad Holmes move and make me fall in love with his mental game. And maybe I haven't given the guy's plan enough look. And quite honestly, I'm not as finesse with hockey knowledge like you are, and you're getting me back into it, which I appreciate, but I think it's the youth. I think you hit it right on the head, and that's what got me back into the Tigers was seeing guys like Kerry Carpenter. I mean, dude, look, just our lineup. That's all I have to say. Outside of Javi Baez, our lineup got me back into the Tigers.
Yes.
Seeing these young guys that are performing, seeing a farm system similar, like you said, with the Wings, that is oozing with raw talent, right? And it's starting to get stacked time over time. And I'm going, oh shit, we're getting good in a time where everybody's spending money, right?
Yep.
Not relevant or not as much in hockey. I mean, some of your teams are doing that, but like, dude, if you look at baseball, okay, the payroll in baseball, Tom, is outrageous on some of these fucking teams. The Yankees. Oh, look at the Mets. Exactly.
$300 million.
Say no more. And I did a little stat and I pulled a little chart up not too long ago about where the Tigers ranked, but like we're 18th when it comes to payroll versus winning. And that is just crazy because the patience is what paid off for the Tigers fans. And you're basically saying the same thing. Hey, knucklehead, the patience is going to pay off. And you got sold on a plan that isn't even this guy's style. It is not even Steve Yzerman's style to come in and kick the fucking door down, spend a bunch of money, be loud. He whispers in his interviews. Like, I'm pretty sure his mouth isn't even moving. It's pre-recorded under
He's
the
such a
desk,
mild-mannered guy, and he always plays it very close to the vest. He's hard to judge most of the time.
He's harder than Brad Holmes is to judge. And I thought Brad Holmes could play that villain role, but Stevie Y plays that the villain behind the villain. You know what I mean? Like the mega villain role. So super shredder. But I hope you're right. I think you're right. I mean, God knows it. You've been right so far about a lot of other things, but You brought up a really good concept and a really good point is, dude, week 1 of college football is back.
Yes. Yes,
Holy
very
shit.
exciting.
It totally slipped my mind the last time I was on here to even talk about it or think about it. And you highlighted already about Arch Manning and his flat performance. And granted, it's against the number 1 defense and the number 1 ranked team now is the Ohio
Thanks
State.
to Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Oh God, how shitty is that, dude? I hope he just gets and he's not even that fat anymore. But
I know
he's still Fat Patricia to me, and
Ozempic.
He's still an ugly dildo to me.
Yep.
I hope there's a scandal. I really do. I hope something happens with him.
Yeah, there's that Velasquez kid, and apparently he was passing along information about Connor Stallions to the NCAA or some other figure in college football, like in administration capacity. Yeah, he was tipping people off about it when he was, I guess he was at Michigan. He was tipping people off about it. And then apparently that goes against NCAA rules. And he transferred to Ohio State as an ineligible player. And since he was on the roster, people are now saying that could spell trouble for Ohio State. It's a bit of a scandal. You know what? If I had to put money on it, I don't think anything's going to really come of this. Ohio State is still, I mean, it's one of those. It's in a lot of ways, it's like Michigan, where you got the wall put up, and Michigan has like the blue wall. A lot of controversies just seem to bounce off of it. I mean, or they kind of get a slap on the wrist. The whole cheating scandal, the Connor Stallions thing, the sign stealing. You know, they had
Florida in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. But you see,
it's called college football.
Yeah.
If your program is good, they're looking the other way until your program isn't good. That's just how it goes.
The more marketable you are, the more jerseys they can sell, the less trouble you're going to get in.
Tom, they're still doing documentaries on Notre Dame in the 80s versus the University of Miami.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, they're still doing, right, but like they're still doing documentaries and throwbacks to basically some of the best bought teams in college football, right?
Yeah, you can't
Every
tell
documentary we see is some type of scandal is behind it.
Some palms are getting greased. Some rules are getting bent.
Everywhere.
Some people are looking the other way with everything. I mean, if you could probably dig up dirt on any team. Now, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get in trouble. But there's certainly a few guys you can look at. Nick Saban. But you can look at a few guys like throughout the last decade and a half, and say, you know, maybe this guy wasn't all up and up. You know, maybe this was not a total deal. I mean, you look at the way Jim Tressel exited Ohio State back in 2010. They had those vacated wins, and then Urban Meyer came in and all that shit. But, you know, there's a lot of scandal back then. I forgot the quarterback's name back then, but there's a lot of scandal back then. So Ohio State is no stranger to controversy. And unfortunately, Michigan really isn't either, because even
winning
I was thinking
program
about this
is.
the other day. What were you saying? What's that?
I was going to say no winning program is stranger to controversy.
No.
Do you know how many titles Central Michigan has won? 0, because they're just a normal team in the MAC, right?
Yeah.
They're just a regular MAC team. Because that's where I went. Fire up chips.
Fire up chips, yeah, baby. Go Central. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know, I was just thinking about like Michigan, even when Michigan sucked, like during the dark days after Lloyd Carr left and before we got Harbaugh, and even for some of the early years of Harbaugh, you could say, even though they were mediocre, they were at least playing clean. But then, you know, you add another element into it, but it's just keeping up with the Joneses. So miss me with all this cancellation, miss me with all this pearl clutching, all this bullshit. Every program that's ever succeeded, chances are they did something pretty dirty. That's the way college football is. We're greasing palms. We're paying fucking Bryce Underwood $12 million. We stole him from LSU. We gave them a bunch of money. Now they're probably going to spend it on a bunch of like defense or wide receivers or whatever. That's the way it goes. Palms are getting greased. Promises are being made. All this shit's going on behind the scenes.
Guess what,
we have no idea.
It's transparent now, though.
Yes.
Now we're transparent. And that's all we want as Americans is transparency.
Yes, good luck.
And I'm telling you, who exactly, right? But that's what we can preach and we can talk about, especially when it comes to the sports stuff. Think about every single player who's ever touched the college football landscape, right?
Yes.
And how much money they've generated for somebody else with their body and their brain and where they're at right now financially.
Oh, yeah. Just think.
And what is that free degree or 30% off degree doing for them automatically?
Yeah. No.
So to me, now that everybody gets to get theirs, right? And Dave Portnoy goes out and says, hey, I'm going to put 13 million or whatever out to go get us a quarterback, because he realizes that's what they do in Alabama.
That's how they do
That's
it.
what they do at LSU.
SEC.
That's how they do it down in the SEC. They're called boosters.
That's how you do it.
Right?
That's how you got to pay. It's pay to win, baby. It's pay to win. It's pay to play.
Yes.
That's the way it is.
Yes.
You want to be a big baller, you go out and you throw some 18-year-old $10 million. You give him
20-inch blades.
Shares in your company, whatever, however you get your money, that Barstool money, whatever's lying around. You got all these donors. You got all these blue blood donors at Michigan, all these alumni, all these guys, these multi-millionaires up there. And they're telling me they can't, they don't got deep pockets. They can't spend a little bit of money improving this roster.
And they already have.
Yeah, they have.
Now it's not criminal. Now you don't have to do this weird hiding shit, and you can be transparent. And now guys can actually play in college football. Let's be honest, dude. The quarterback position does not transfer over to the NFL like certain positions do.
Mm-hmm.
You are either on the cream of the crop, right? You are either literally on the cream of the crop, or you are on the shit end base of a salvageable backup.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to be a journeyman backup. There's literally no in between. There's very limited Cinderella stories where guys have that second shot. Right. So it's to the point where if some of these kids can make money at some of these bigger schools playing quarterback or playing positions that don't have that financial depth that they do in the NFL, let them make some money, man. Then the pressure isn't to go pro. They can go do something with that money, start a business. We do get the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if they can eat in college, not everybody's starving in the NFL.
No. The NIL deals change the face of college football forever. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. These guys, they put their bodies on the line. They risk devastating injury, just like the NFL. College football is insane. The pageantry, the way that all these rich guys are betting their mortgages on a bunch of 18-year-olds. But, that's craziness. And you got to keep up with the Joneses, man. If you're not willing to open your checkbook, if you're not willing to skirt some laws, some of these stupid regulations and bullshit, fuck it. Just do it, man. Just do it. Get your money.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Get yourself a title. Yes. You want a ring, or do you want to be one of these guys who plays it clean and safe?
Yeah. You know what I say to that?
Don't be rude.
Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Just do it. Keep it up with the Joneses. I am literally stealing that.
Lots of drama.
I love that. No, it's okay. That's what the world loves. The world loves drama, dude.
Yep.
And that's everything you said. I know we got a little animated, but everything you said is correct, right? And I think the world echoes that, right? If I'm a kid right now in high school and I'm going, oh, dude, I can make some money playing, get some NIL in college, like that sounds... that doesn't seem so overwhelming and so narrow, and I can actually make a little bit and maybe build a brand, and then maybe I don't have to go and play because, dude, let's face it, the NFL is really tough to make it in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was saying before, but I was talking about, I made a Bill Belichick video just about how he got absolutely bitch slapped by TCU, but people don't understand, like, the transitioning, and I talked about Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer and Nick Saban transitioning from college to pro or pro to college. College football is a totally different animal. The NFL is a totally different animal. People don't really comprehend the difference there. And a lot of guys who look slick, look at Arch Manning. I mean, look at him in high school. I mean, somebody said he's got a 6-star name, but he's like a 3-star talent. But just look at a guy like that, just levels like that, just how he thought, he was going to be the big shot, how people were building him up. And he, at first, I don't want to be too rough on the kid, but it looks a little rough from the get-go. But how many guys bust out? How many sure things just fail to capitalize on their talent? There's so many stories.
Many.
There's so many. There's thousands, maybe even like tens of thousands of guys that get to the big show and they can't perform. And it's just like, at this stage, if I can make some money, if you're going to give me like a few $100,000 or a couple $1,000,000, and I'll go catch footballs on some blue blood program in the SEC or the Big Ten or whatever, and then I could take that money and parlay it into something else. Fuck, I just dropped my beer, sorry. But if I could take that money and parlay it into something else, I'm doing that, you know. And if I can't, you know, if I can't translate my skills into the NFL, and also with all this CTE, obviously there's concerns about that. Hey, if I can have a good 2-3 year college career and make some decent money, that's the path I'm walking down, baby. Fuck
Well,
the
think
NFL
about the
then.
quarterback position.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks in college football have won a Heisman that never started in an NFL game?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so many that just aren't. I can think of two, Troy Smith and Matt Leinart, off the top of my head,
Yep,
that are Heisman quarterbacks that are irrelevant in the pro game.
Yes.
So you think about the money that they could have been making off their name and their image and their likeness, when their name and their image and their likeness was at a premium.
Yeah.
When college football, their program was making money off their name, image, and likeness.
Well,
It's just revenue transferring. That's all it is.
Well, look at like the history for the longest time. I mean, C.J. Stroud might be the exception, but look at all the quarterbacks like Ohio State had throughout the last 20 years. Every single one, Cardale Jones and Troy Smith and all these guys. And, you know,
it's Alabama, it's Georgia. What the hell? Carson Beck did a couple of years at Georgia. Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
he was
Carson
like 25.
Beck doesn't look that great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stetson Bennett's like 29.
Oh, yeah. He's even older than that. He's an old fart, you know, but a lot of these guys, they're making money.
It's just like you could have made some money.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's the thing. If you could be, you know, I'll take, hey, if I don't make it in the league, or if I get a few $1,000,000 and I can be like part of like the elite alumni at some college, at some decent like top tier college, and be like a college legend, I'll take that. Fuck
all day.
Getting my ass hammered with by playing on some second-rate NFL team with like a porous offensive line, and I'm taking concussions and shit. Fuck that shit. You know, I'd rather be a college legend than an also ran in the NFL. You know, that's how I feel about it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because these colleges, man, they anoint their legends more than some of these pro teams do.
Yes.
Right? Like when you go to some of these schools and you have these celebrities, I mean, they'll be bringing them back until they're 80 at these colleges. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? There really isn't. And the NCAA is just as big as, well, our professional sports, let's be honest, at least from a football standpoint.
It's a $1 billion industry.
Oh, I know, and like I know Hitch isn't big into college football, so like typically I would be the one talking more about it, and we're gonna do a lot more college football this year.
Yes,
I'm forcing his curmudgeon-y butt to get back into college football, because
there
was a point in time, I swear, that he was into college football.
Oh man,
I think he just got soiled when, you know, he was a Michigan State fan.
Yeah,
I don't know if he still is, but he just kind of fell off, and I get it with the rough times they had, but dude, those D'Antonio years, come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to get back.
If you can't get
D'Antonio
hyped,
years, that was a good time at MSU.
8 out of 10 years whipping Michigan's ass, and it was
that guy was talented.
Remember those?
He could recruit like a Big Ten coach should.
They did. They had top 5 defense. They had top 5 finishes.
Yep.
They had some of the best defenses in college football, not just in the Big Ten.
Secondaries
in college football,
nasty.
those secondaries were disgusting. But I remember going to Hooters with a couple of my buddies. I was a Michigan fan, obviously, and these guys were Spartan fans.
Likewise.
It was that game back in 2013. Who was our starting quarterback? Not Shoelace, Vincent something.
Oh, Jesus, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, go ahead, look it up. But yeah, I remember they had that game and they planted the flag
Devin
at
Gardner?
Devin Gardner. Yeah. I want to say Vincent. I'm thinking of somebody else. Devin Gardner. But I remember that game. They were talking all this shit. It was Brady Hoke. And they planted the flag at midfield.
Was that Devin Bush that did that?
I think so. No, it wasn't the flag. It was that railroad spike. They put the railroad spike in at midfield. And then I remember he got sacked. Devin Gardner got sacked like 8 times. It It was pathetic. It was just at the end of the game, they had the white Adidas uniforms back then, and his uniform was totally brown and green from all the turf, all the grass he'd been sliding on. But I remember that team. I remember trouble with the snap. I watched that game, Jim Harbaugh's first game, almost a guaranteed win. Me and two of my other friends, we were at one of my buddy's apartments watching that game.
They had to get rid
trouble
of
with the snap.
Wow.
And the ball bounced out, and the guy scooped it up, ran it back into the end zone, and we were all just around. We were gathered around the TV just going like this. What the fuck? We were all drunk as fuck, but we sobered up. We sobered up for that.
One of the most sobering moments in college sports history, I would say.
We were all doing the surrender
even if
cobra.
even if you're not a fan of Michigan, you're going, what the hell just like everybody was, what the hell, right?
I remember Valenti.
Shane Morris and Russell Bellamy.
Yeah.
Those are the other quarterbacks.
He wasn't in Max Protect. Years, it was a mess. But yeah.
He wasn't in Max Protect.
That's Harbaugh's fault.
Well,
Harbaugh's fault.
Those were some rough years, but Jim's got that program now. Well, he got that program to a point where it's solid, right? Sherrone Moore, he seems like he's taken the torch over from a confidence level, from a recruiting standpoint, getting Bryce Underwood. I feel like Jim did a lot. There was more than just Jim Harbaugh into that, and I feel like he did a lot to that program and left a lot of his people still there, because it still looks like what I saw last year and the year before, just really with a better quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, just like compared to last year, I'm not going to take anything away. Yeah. I don't want to take anything away from Michigan starter last year, because we know he came from a lot of adversity and he beat Ohio State. You know, that's something he'll remember for the rest of his life. But
oh, absolutely.
This year, I mean, Bryce Underwood's like completing passes. I think he completed a 39-yard pass. That's longer than anything Michigan threw last year. And it's just seeing the night and day difference, seeing what Bryce Underwood can do. I'm not willing to anoint him like the next Vince Young or anything, but he's going to be challenged.
Do not
this coming Saturday against Oklahoma. They're in Oklahoma, so it's going to be a bit of a pain. Oklahoma might get the better of them. I don't know just yet. I'm probably going to do a preview of it eventually, so look forward to that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But he's going to be tested. But a lot of the guys, Michigan looked good, and New Mexico gave them a little bit of a fight. But
they did.
Yeah.
And, right at the second half, there was a couple minutes left on the clock, and it was pretty close. And I stopped, and I looked, and my son Jason was watching, and I go, wait. And he goes, they might lose. I go, no, hold on. I said, this is the chance right now. If they don't score on this drive, then we got another whole nother question. I said, but if they score in this drive, they pull away. And they scored within 5 seconds. So freaked me out for a second, but they did it. But I don't know. Can you hear this right now?
Hear what? Oh yeah. Oh, that's very exciting. Very exciting.
You heard that, right?
Yes, I heard that.
That week 1 is started?
Week 1 is starting. Oh, boy.
I know we got so hyped up in this, but Tom, dude, we're 30-some minutes into this, and, dude, week 1 of the NFL is moments away, I guess. We're recording this on a Tuesday, but for all shits and giggles, I mean, it's already started.
Yeah.
We're starting in Green Bay, dude, on the road at 4:00.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This is going to be very interesting.
I think so. I think, we got, this September 7th, it's at Lambeau Field. It's going to be a test. Lambeau is a nightmare to play in. I know. I mean, I got nothing nice to say about Wisconsinites, but that's still an intense.
No, nothing nice to say about Lambeau.
Yeah, that's a real cathedral of football, understanding that. But, we're going to see.
The NFL did this on purpose, man. They did.
Yeah. But we're going to see some good matchups.
You've got the Bears.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll see. We'll see some good matchups. Micah Parsons has an L4, L5 issue with his back. So he's questionable. I know he practiced, but he was limited. I don't know if we're going to be getting the chance to see him. So maybe Jerry Jones knew something that the Green Bay GM didn't. But I don't want to give Jerry Jones that much credit, though. But we're going to see some, we're going to see some Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch looks good. We're going to be seeing him against Zach Tom. Packers interior. They lost Kenny Clark, replaced him with some inexperienced options. The pressure's on for Jordan Love. But injuries to Hobbs and weak corner depth, that kind of gives Lions a window. Micah Parsons' availability, like I said, that's a big factor too. As far as the Lions go, Tesla, he's kind of questionable too. He missed week 1 practice, and the statuses are kind of uncertain. Him and Sion Vaki, who's probably going to be the running back 3, but Tesla's absence a little bit noticeable. We'll see. We'll see how Graham Glasgow does as the new center, replacing Frank Ragnow. But yeah, there's a lot of different factors in this game. There's a lot of different factors. Definitely, I think Lions pull away with this. I've been seeing some predictions, probably kind of like Lions 27, Packers 23, high scoring affair. 3 or 4 scores each. But I do think the Lions.
So that was
got a
my
good
next
shot.
question,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of reading something. I read some similar stuff, man. Vegas is opening betting line Lions plus 2.5.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting. This is the biggest point spread in the Lions' opponent's favor since week 17 of the 2023 season.
No
right?
shit.
When they already clinched the NFC North, and we expected Detroit to rest players against the Cowboys that were desperate for a win.
Yeah.
In 24. We were a favorite in every game. Again, that year we pissed Vegas off, but
yes,
this is interesting. So I wanted to bring that up because that's something we didn't highlight a lot last year, was the betting odds, and the betting odds are very seem to be and are telling line, right? Maybe you don't want to say scripted and rigged, but it kind of tells us where our heart needs to lie. So we're saying here, and that's a score. I think that's pretty respectful.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're going to see 2 offenses ready to prove that they both have explosive young weapons. Green Bay has a really good roster.
Yes.
I'll say this through and through, up and up throughout the season. The Packers are a good team. They're always going to be a good squad. It's just depending on the level of quarterback play that they've had. In the past, it's been Hall of Fame quarterback play, right?
Yeah.
This year, not this year, but in the Jordan Love era, as he continues to formulate as a player, that'll be the telling tale. I think he's going to come out fast. He's going to come out great. But there's something that everyone keeps forgetting. We have a disgusting animal pinned on both sides of the line, ready to dominate, ready for a revenge tour.
Yes.
If you don't think that Aiden Hutchinson isn't coming out looking to blow through people, just cut through humans, you're fucking on crack, dude.
Yeah.
And if you think Marcus Davenport isn't out ready to prove that, hey, there's a reason why Brad Holmes got me back, you're smoking a little bit of crack, not as much.
Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be a big test for Green Bay's OL going into this game against Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to be hungry to get that defensive player of the year title that he missed last year.
Hell yeah.
He's going to be hungry as hell. Marcus Davenport has a lot to prove. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, definitely. I'm a little bullish on Marcus Davenport. I know he's been a solid edge, but I think that the Lions got a good front seven, but he's one of those guys. But going against Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons, if healthy, that's going to be a test for our offensive line. But I'm excited to see what Aiden Hutchinson can do. Maybe he can show up Micah Parsons, but the matchup I want to see most of all is Penei Sewell's Micah Parsons. Sorry, I'm hiccuping, but that's the matchup I want to see. I want to see how Penei measures up against this guy. That's going to be very exciting. Can he keep him off Jared Goff's back? Because Micah Parsons, he is a game breaker. He doesn't grade out as high as Aiden Hutchinson, but he is a game breaker. He is a game changer.
Tom, but who does Penei practice against every day? Who does he go up against? Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a bigger, badder version. So yes, I want to see it. I'm eager. If there's any man for the job, it's Penei. But this line, dude, even on our side of the ball, or I'm sorry, on the defensive side of the ball. That's really, like you said, that's where all this game's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this offense because, dude, we're loaded. I don't have to tell anybody out there or you or convince them that we are so loaded on weapons and we don't have to make trick plays. I think we're just going to go out there and be methodically planned and efficient and just get the job done. But I think where you're going to see this, the crazy stuff, the stuff that got you nuts last year on the offensive side, is the defensive side of the ball.
Yes.
Is Aiden Hutchinson. It's Kirby Joseph. It's Brian Branch. It's Jack Campbell. It's Alex Anzalone. Stop me. It's Aleem McNeil.
Yeah.
It's Tyleek Williams. I mean, seriously, dude, the names that I'm stacking up are just hungry, crazy psychos that are ready to hit you in the mouth.
That's true. That's true. I like our defensive line. I like our safeties. Safeties a lot. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, most dynamic duel in the league as far as I'm concerned. The quarterbacks might be a little bit of a question mark, like DJ Reed. Terrion Arnold, what can this guy do? Can he avoid making any dumb penalties? Because I liked a lot of what I saw from him last year. He's still kind of a question mark. Interior defensive
Scared
line,
to hype. Scared to get excited about. I will agree with you. The corners are someone I'm reserve and going, let's see what it looks like. I'm optimistic. I think they're great players. But hey guys, get out there. You're right. I like this.
Absolutely. And I want to see what Tyleek Williams can do on that interior defensive line with Mekhi Wingo, Chris Smith, those guys. I want to see what the rookie can prove, but he's got a lot of responsibility on that line, and I like what I saw.
He does, but as long as Mekhi Wingo and a couple of the guys you named stay healthy that haven't been able to, the pressure's off Tyleek Williams. He doesn't have to freak out. He can just go out there and do stuff that we know he can do.
Yeah, staying healthy.
So
that's the big concern. Staying healthy. We all know pretty much everybody on our defensive line was hurt last year, but staying healthy is the big thing, avoiding any devastating injuries and whatnot. But man, I'm so geeked up to see what Hutch can do, man. But as far as for the other guys go,
well, hey, there's a name that both you and I forgot to mention. Was DJ Reader. The defensive tackle that we got last year that was a little injured and came out starting out slow because of injuries. So he's I'm reading an article because he's being praised by Dan Campbell right now, and he's saying he had a kick-ass camp, and then that DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport have nothing left to prove.
Yeah.
It just seems like he said he's another guy that he's had a really good camp for us. He's done exactly what we've asked him to do. He's got versatility, and there's nothing more he needs to show me, right? So, that's the stuff you want to hear when the season starts for all these guys is, hey, they're a fine-tuned machine. They're in the garage. They're oiled up. They got all their replacement parts, and they're ready to race. And that's where I'm excited for, because it doesn't sound like Micah Parsons is quite there. It sounds like, yes, Tom, Dallas, who just locked up one of their corners for $92 million. It wasn't about money. I think it was about Micah Parsons was out there talking like he was Aiden Hutchinson, talking like he was 5 years younger. And he was, again, not dogging on the guy, but I don't know, man. It just seems like 2 first-rounders, Kenny Clark, and something else for a banged-up defensive end / hybrid outside linebacker.
$136 million guaranteed.
Guaranteed money, who can't stay healthy, right? So we saw what an unhealthy roster looks like when you're banged up.
Well,
so I don't know. This could be the Khalil Mack, hey.
Okay,
you traded for Khalil Mack, but you're going to need a lot more than just one player to really.
The Packers, the Packers are not one edge rusher away from being Super Bowl contenders. And I know
you summarized it better than I could.
How the Vegas odds moved. They were plus 2,000 for the Super Bowl. Now they're plus 400. All the odds are moving in their favor. That's mostly a respect to Micah Parsons with the kind of player he is. But still,
and they know the cheeseheads will bite in on that right now.
Yeah, they know the cheeseheads will buy in on it. They know it's the kind of story people like to hear. The wayward son, the guy the frustrated superstar on a mediocre team like the Cowboys, going to the Packers, trying to make a name for himself in one of the toughest divisions in football. It's a good storyline. People love that shit. People like it.
It is.
But I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him, at all,
no.
really. And this might come back to
bite me. I would have been a lot more worried if he went to the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's a team I'd respect a little bit more, like on their defense. Their defense is like a little bit more firepower. Their roster's definitely. A little like I view them as a little bit more Super Bowl ready.
Possibly, yeah.
Than the Packers. That's the way I view them right now. The Bears are trash.
Bears are just Caleb Williams and Ben. I'm kind of interested. It's intriguing to me what Ben Johnson could do with Caleb Williams. I know, they made some noise in the preseason. They slapped up Buffalo pretty good, but it could be interesting to see how that offense functions, even though like in practice and some of the training camps wasn't too impressive. Caleb Williams looked like he was really struggling, but the guy with Caleb
I got to
Williams,
hold you up right there.
Yeah.
They slapped around Buffalo, and my good buddy Wayne, who comes on this podcast too, and you'll get to talk and meet, is an avid Bills fan. He would tell you that the Bills slotted out a semi-pro Canadian football team that day just to
that's what I figured.
You know what I mean? Like the Bills are like a really, really good team. Do you think that they're going to put it's an accurate representation? Then they put out this clown show of Caleb Williams, like it's a sideshow for their sideshow fans and carny ass fans to get them excited for a season of letdown, right? How many times as Lions fans did we get all geeked because we won the headlines in preseason? That gets you freaking nowhere.
I remember.
Right? When play around, you had Caleb Williams 9 for 12 and threw for 180 yards and a touchdown. He looked really good on 2 scripted plays against 2 guys who are 14 guys who aren't even playing. So
2 guys from the Canadian Football
man.
League. Yeah,
right, exactly. So,
guys who are going to be
your back,
cutting
Wayne.
the grass next week. But one more thing about, Caleb Williams. I just want to say the guy, I think he does have some talent. I think there is a little bit of a diamond in the rough when it comes to Caleb Williams. But the thing is, this aura he's trying to build around himself with the painted fingernails, all the cutesy little press releases, all this kind of stuff. He's trying to be like, the ego on this kid is immense. He's trying to be something really special. He's trying to be something he's not. He's just like, I don't think he has the talent to back up as much of this attitude, this aura, whatever you want to call it.
No.
He can't back it up. He can talk the talk, but I don't think he can walk the walk. He's one of these guys. He's a pretty boy. He's a guy that he's going to look good on a Wheaties box. He doesn't bring much to the table, I don't think. I think he's a very shallow player. I'm not threatened by him at all. I don't see him as a threat to the Lions.
I'm not really either. I have a lot more respect for other quarterbacks in the NFL and in our division than I do with Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So, and I really don't see that changing anytime soon, Tom. But the Bears to me will always be who we thought they were, right?
Yeah. They are who we thought they were.
Right? Like,
of course.
They're just the Bears.
They're just the Bears.
And
they had some nice they had some good teams. I don't even
care.
With Lovie Smith and whatnot, but Brian Urlacher days, Rex Grossman, that miracle run to the Super Bowl, but we all saw how that ended. And it's just
the Bears are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
That's why we took the damn field. Yeah. If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Oh, yeah.
But they are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
We let them off the hook.
Yep.
So dude, that's the only relevance they have is you say the name the Bears, and then people have that stupid Denny Green.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Bears have been largely, just a non-factor for a while. I mean, the Jay Cutler years, people were kind of hopeful, but
those were trash too. Those were always boom or bust years. As far as like you'd have your Jay Cutler and Alshon Jeffrey, was it?
Yeah.
No, it was Jay Cutler and who was the other quarter? Braden Marshall.
Yeah.
And you had like in the games that was meaningless, they put up great fantasy football numbers.
Yeah, it was garbage time stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still garbage.
They've had a few decent players. They've had their Peanut Tillmans. They've had I forgot the name of that one running back, but they've had some talent here and there, but they've largely been a non-factor. And the Lions are So every other team in the division, the Vikings, Lions, and Packers, they've all made significant strides. I mean, especially the Lions. Lions have made the most strides of anybody in the division as far as I'm
100%.
concerned. But, the Bears, I'm not worried about them. But focusing a little bit more, if I want to bring it back around to the Packers, stuff like that. But Jordan Love, I think he's good. I'm not going to, people, living up to being in Aaron Rodgers' shadow, that can be a hell of a thing. And he's got some talent around him. He's got a good OL. He has Reed, Daubs, Wicks. Matt LaFleur can, put him in a good system. Matt LaFleur knows how to use him for the most part. He's good in clutch moments, but
yeah,
when he's forced to go off script, when he's blitzed, you see the numbers dip a bit. And if Lions can get to him like that, I'm not worried about him. Yeah, that's
the key right there, Tom. You said it. That is, to me, where you see two different type of Packers, two different type of Jordan Loves, two different types of outcome. If we can put pressure on Jordan Love, it completely opens the game up to where we're in control, right?
Yeah.
We're in that driver's seat, right? Obviously, we established, hopefully, already the run game with Jared Goff, and then the defense is applying that pressure. In a minute or two, Kirby and Brian are about to go grab something.
Oh, yeah.
In the back.
Oh,
INT. For a TD, right? And that's the stuff that excites me, because when I see his predecessors, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, it just didn't, no matter what we did, you just could not seem to shake them for the entire game.
No.
And there still seems to be enough, and I'll credit that to Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell with putting out a defense that's higher quality, right? But, dude, it's going to be fun. Right?
Yes.
Like, this is historic too for Green Bay. It's been 7 years since they've opened their season at home.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, this is big for them too.
It is.
Like, this isn't just the Lions and Green Bay. Like, this is big on all terms, right? So, that place is going to be absolutely packed. We are the underdogs, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Kind of hoping that the sweet headline team of the NFL this year is anybody but us, because we're good. We now have the respect of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need ESPN to talk about us anymore. I just want everybody to stop onto the fan forum and talk to us.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, dude, with us now not being the Cinderella, and you could talk about all these other Cinderella teams.
Yeah.
This is a good year for us to go back to being the underdogs and just grinding it out, kind of like how everyone hated KC and they went in and win a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. A lot of people think the Lions fell off. There's a lot of NFL Network guys, Fox Sports guys thought that the Lions fell off, and it's the Vikings division, it's the Packers division. I saw one guy picking the Bears, all this shit, but all this idiocy, obviously, but it gives Dan Campbell more bulletin board material. But to your point about the Lions, being an underdog this year, they're definitely underdog. They got a lot to prove, but the thing is, they do have respect. There is respect on the Lions name,
absolutely,
more than in previous years, obviously. But with that respect,
I don't have to argue my Lions anymore.
No.
I feel like when I walk somewhere and you're in Lions gear, it's like you're not going to get shit about it. You're going to get like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I wear this hoodie and people are slapping me high fives and stuff. But
giving you money.
But with that respect, with the aura, with the extra credibility the Lions have, they got a big target on their back now, and other teams are going to want to knock them back down to earth. So Lions got to bring their A game. They can't take nothing for granted. They got to execute. Whatever flaws or weaknesses they have, they got to play up to it. They can't leave anything on the field, or leave it all on the field. They can't, leave anything off the field. You know what I'm saying? But it's just Lions got their work cut off for them. They got a brutal schedule. A lot of people want to see them fail. Lions were the punchline of the league for 60 years. People want to see him go back there, man. It would be, especially people in our division, the way Vikings fans talk shit and the Green Bay Packers fans talk shit. That's the way it is these days. It's a brutal
23.
What's that?
27-23, 27-24.
Yeah,
is that
that's
what
I'm
said?
thinking.
Okay. I think I'm right there with you, dude. But hey, we cannot take a moment out and forget to remind everybody to go over to your page. You've done such a phenomenal job at promoting our page and getting us all these subscribers.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to go over to Hermdo's page. your content is completely opposite than football in sports. So I want everybody to understand you're not just getting like recycled sports content. You're getting some top-notch, just, I don't know, what would you like to title this as?
I don't even know. I'm just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Every once in a while, I do a beer review. Sometimes I talk about leftist issues, right-wing issues, politics.
I got a new gun.
Yeah, I got some funny stuff on there. I got some comedy skits up there, but just it's whatever. It's just a big smorgasbord. I'm doing the conspiracy stuff that wasn't really netting very positive returns, but yeah, it's just kind of a little bit of everything, and with your sports content, with other stuff like that, I'm glad to see I'm getting as much attention as I am. I always wanted to be a famous YouTuber, so now I am. I just farted.
The AI bubble's about to dur. That's part of being a famous YouTuber, is learning how to accurately fart and burp on screen.
Yes, indeed.
Timings.
That's me,
so
baby.
We're going to be wrapping this up soon.
Okay.
But I want to remind everybody that we're going to be live before the Green Bay game. We're going to be are you going to be able to join us, or will you be working?
I think I'll be working this Sunday. I might do some college coverage on Saturday. Okay. Sunday, I'll probably be... The game starts at 4:25. I'll probably be working, unfortunately, so I won't be able to join you guys. But
I'm hoping some free time this week.
Yeah.
I really am. Yeah. I feel like he is going to fall into the corner of the screen during the live. But, hey, even if you're at work and you want to just chat and talk shit, there are some folks from another podcast called The Doctor and the Do.
Yeah.
It's that wrestling one, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I got into their last 2 live streams, and did I get the ball rolling, sir, on some controversy.
Ooh, baby.
And I picked on he's a Bears fan, and he just razzed him. I mean, it actually, I think, hopefully got us a couple subscribers over from their page, but
yeah.
They're basically a group of guys that are us. They're our era, our age.
Yeah.
The same, or just remedial thoughts on life. I want you guys to go check out their page too. It's pretty funny, and then hop into their streams. There's a lot more wrestling fans, so those fans are easier to troll than sports fans. But
definitely,
you would do phenomenal trolling their page. So I just want to give those 2 pages a shout out. Go check out Hermdo. Go check out The Doctor and the Do. Do you have any final thoughts, sir, when we wrap up this lovely pre-week 1 episode?
I'm just gonna say, the Lions, their future is ahead of them. They still have a lot to prove, but I believe in this team. This is going to be a big test this year. This season is going to be a big test for Dan Campbell. How he finishes the team will determine how open this Super Bowl window is. But he's got a lot of pressure on him right now, but he works good under pressure for the most part. But we'll see. That's all I got to say. The Lions got a lot to prove. They got to take any break they can get. They got to take advantage of any weaknesses in their opponents. They got to play up as best they can. They got to play up to their opponents. They can't take anything for granted. They got to just keep rolling, baby. They can't fuck around. But that's all I got to say. Go Lions. Let's get it done this year. Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl 60.
I like that. I will agree with you. I think that this team I love everything from top to the bottom, from who they pick as captains to the folks at Ford Field that are hanging out there serving you. Like, everything about this environment, this culture, the stadium, I love everything about it except the price of tickets, right?
Yeah.
But there still is a big mountain to climb. There is respect on your name. You're going to keep that respect on my name, and we're going to keep raising that bar, right? And that's what you're seeing with this team is, hey guys, we put all this in, and now you're seeing that exponential growth. And it's not just that boomer bust that we're used to seeing, where it's just all in, all out, all in, all out, heartbreaks. So, hey, this is the payoff, right? And we're going to also see that too, a lot of growth with the Tigers. We didn't talk a lot about the Tigers, and you've been doing a phenomenal job covering them, but I feel like we should get back on and do just a Tigers episode.
Absolutely.
Because pre-October baseball, we're going to have this, okay, we don't have these big contracts, these big names to feel safe at night, keep us comfortable with, okay, Is this team a World Series team? Do you think we can do it? How
Yeah.
big's the window? What does it look like? We're going to have those conversations over and over again with the Tigers and hopefully the Wings. But
Yeah.
Outside of that, thank you, Hermdo, for putting all the content together. Hitch, I hope you get out of Nicole Kidman's floorboards. You seem to be stuck there. And Bob and Wayne, we're going to have you two on. Wayne is our Canadian AFC Buffalo Bills Toronto Raptors fan. He just texted me. He's getting a new microphone, so he'll be coming back this season. Coming over, brought to you from that goofy country.
Yeah.
North. What is that? Yeah, northeast. Like specifically to me, northeast.
Yeah.
And then anybody else, man, I want to encourage everybody else to come on. Tom and Hitch, we've talked about having some other special guests on, but listen, if you got a microphone and you got an attitude or an opinion and you want to come on, let me know. And please get in the lives before the Lions games. Just get in those lives and start talking shit. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, sir. One Pride.
Sounds good.
I thought you said I was all right, Spider. So...
No, you ain't all right, Spider. You got a lot of fucking problems.
No, I thought you said you were all right.